Hey guys, happy Tuesday, I think. I don't even know. Just leaving the feed store. Fucking chickens, dude. It's $100 a month to feed them. Do I eat that many eggs? No, but as we talked about in one of my last videos, I am water glassing. So should shit go downhill, I'm gonna be all set. But anyway, I recorded a video yesterday, but I wasn't sure about it because it's I think it's the most important thing that I could talk about. I'll just speak for myself. And it's about this stupid war that men and women have been in since basically the beginning of time. But it's gotten exponentially worse in the last few years. And I'm sure that it's because, everyone knows that the name of the game is to divide and conquer. So they do it generationally, right? Boomers versus millennials versus Gen Z versus Gen Beta, whatever's coming back, all those, And then you have the rich and the poor, which is getting getting closer to the problem. But men and women, right? That's boom, right down the center, 50-50 basically, which that in and of itself guarantees that we will never unite. If an increasing number of men hate women and women same thing, I just feel like women don't hate men as much. I feel like our stance is we're disappointed. We're so disappointed in the number of guys who have an OnlyFans account, not as a uploader, but as a viewer. I think it's literally some girl broke it down. She's like, it's 1 in 2. 50% of guys are paying for online prostitution / the fake, I can't remember what the fake parasocial relationship. Terrible. That's like speedballing crack and heroin. The number of guys who online gamble, I saw this great video of this lady. She was like, stay away from me. I don't remember what her exact words were, but basically she was like, stay the fuck away from me if you're a guy and you know what the word parlay means. If you are a guy and parlay is something that is a word that is used in your daily vernacular, you stay the fuck away from me. It is so true, you guys, and the number of guys that do watch porn on a daily basis, even semi-regular, it's dude, we know that shit, it causes basically brain damage, right? And then on that, the number of guys who drink so heavily, the number of guys who smoke so heavily, and you guys are fucking getting on women for basically doing the same thing you do. That's weird. No, I think guys are definitely worse off right now. I know women are on medication more, like depression and stuff, but hey, come on. The number of guys who successfully kill themselves over the number of women who try, it's like comparing somebody who, I don't know, accidentally runs over a dog versus somebody that is a serial killer, right? That's a terrible analogy. I'm sorry about that. Scratch that from the record. I beg of you, court. So ultimately though, men need to get on the men in charge. And a lot of those men are of a certain religion, claim to be of a certain religion, and specialize in a certain faction of that religion that starts with a Z. Okay? Every porn site is owned by a J. I don't even know this for sure, but I would fucking bet $10,000 on it. Every online gambling avenue, website, whatever, is owned by a J. Every single fucking one. Just all the degeneracy. Like, even, I know I bring him up a lot, but Aubrey Marcus, after he brought that first video bringing us, who I think he's a J too, so, you know, gotta question his prerogative in terms of trying to make polyamory mainstream. This is the second attempt now, with Mark Gaffney, who is a Zionist Jew. Oh yeah, I don't have fifth gear right now. When he got backlash for that first video, he came out with a reel, I think on his Instagram, that said like, who is Aubrey Marcus? Da, 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 da. You know, all these clips of him being basically a cult leader, while in the background he's like, I'm not a cult leader. It's like, well, you sure fucking look like one. But he did mention that his stepfather was the one that invented the fleshlight. Degeneracy. If I knew my man had stuck his dick in a fleshlight, I probably wouldn't be with him. That is so fucking weird. Not to mention his real dad. We're still going down that road. That's its own road, but we're staying on the main road. His father was huge in finance, one of the most successful traders on the stock market. I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's these people who manipulate money, who pervert it, what it's meant for, and for whom it is meant for. Money is it is value, yes, but it is value based, but it should, so that said, it should definitely reflect, you know, adequately the work behind it. I know intellect is, you know, a form of work, you know, just as physical work is, but, you know, at a certain point we just have to like really own up to the fact that there's nothing anybody on this earth can do that's worth the payout some of these fucking guys are getting. Like these finance bros, these tech bros, these, you know, sharky business bros. Like, no, absolutely, you're not. You didn't earn that, okay? Thousands, if not millions, of people under you fucking earned that, and you're a fucking chode of a disgusting human being for feeling like you're privy to that money without any sort of karmic retribution coming your way. Like, you're out your damn mind. These people are fucking miserable, and they need to be taken out. Like, at this point, like, that's just where we're at. Like, it's, you know, it's not a call for violence, but in my humble opinion, in my intellectual opinion, it's just, we're done. Like, I'm not saying they need to be killed, but they need to be taken out. You can interpret that however you will, but at this point, it's like they are so parasitic, they're so cancerous, they're so harmful to this country and so many others. It's just, it's unforgivable at this point. Like, no amount of jail time, no amount of like publicized trial and public humiliation is just, you know, like, they just need to be removed. And, you know, I guess since I'm not advocating for violence, those things do need to happen, because, you know, like, that's kind of what makes us different from animals, I guess. But it's just, at a certain point, we have to admit that that point was actually years behind us, and because we didn't call it out then, we're at where we're at now. And it's just, it's egregious, the level of hopelessness that this country and other ones and have been, like, you know, made to experience, the levels of hopelessness. Like, it's just, it's so, like, nobody's having children, and sure, yeah, sure, you know, a lot of people don't want to. That's fine, but there are more people than not who would have liked like to have children. And they only didn't because of financial reasons, and or they couldn't find a person, an adequate mate who hadn't been corrupted by people in charge via drugs, alcohol, gambling, pornography, and other degenerate, avenues, who are all owned by a very, very, very small group of people. It's just these Zionists, dude, like, they are just, we know they're the problem, and people are talking about it, but at a certain point, it's like, when does the trial start? When does the apprehension begin, of these people with handcuffs and stuff like that? Like, we can't, I don't know, like, I understand people, living in vans, and especially guys, like, living off the land, just completely, not even doing van life. They're just like, I'm going to the woods. I'm going to build a little house, or I'm going to get a tent, and I'm just going to, panhandle and live day to day. Like, I get it, but, the point of men is to be around other men, like, even introverted men. Like, if you're a guy and you're totally alone, unless it's for a concerted reason, like you're processing grief, or, you're kind of finding yourself, concertedly trying to find yourself, you should be around other guys, good guys that hone you, who call out your bullshit, who basically demand you get better and better and better. Because as soon as guys get better, women will come back. But at this point, like, most women work. I think at this point, more women work than men do. And yeah, sure, men still do the more important jobs, the harder jobs. But the fact is, more women, we'll just say an equal number of women, are getting up in the morning, taking their ass to work, and bringing home bacon. And it's just at that point, like, yeah, why would a lot of women opt to have a man who doesn't really help them, at best, 50-50, excuse me? Like, why would I even want to live with you if we're 50-50, if I'm going to do most of the housework, most of the cleaning, I have to put out, right, to your every fucking whim. You guys get a boner every fucking day. Women, we don't get boners every fucking day. Like, I'd say a lot of us are still sexual. I think a lot of them are not. A lot of women are not because of the drugs and stuff, but, it's not such a compulsion for us. We are not, it's so nice to not be ruled by the nethers, I think for a long time women are, but, with maturity and stuff like that, you just realize, like, yeah, no, like, it's just gonna get me in trouble to be that enslaved by my nethers. But you guys are, that said, women are on a 28-day cycle. You guys are on a 24-hour cycle. Like, we are not the same. Anyway, I'm about to go down a very gravelly road. I'm getting some raw milk for my babe because he's obsessed with raw milk. He cannot drink pasteurized milk, nor can I really. Not after experiencing this stuff. This is just, it's too good, you guys. So anyway, I hope you guys get some fucking raw milk and some raw balls going, because there are good women out there. There are good women out there. Not everyone is fucking crazy. Sure, a lot of them are, but it's because they get paid. Their daddy left them a lot of money, or they're in a lot of debt. Either way, like, I don't really know if they are the best partner for anybody. And they're unfortunately, part of that percentage of people who just don't really deserve to be with anybody because they're too damn selfish, right? If you want somebody, really, you have to assess, how selfish am I? Because you cannot be at a certain, we all have a little bit of selfishness in us, but if it's to a certain point, like it's not really conducive to sharing your life and your resources with somebody else, and not being a fucking, you know, aggro person about it. So anyway, you guys take care, have fun, bye.